What do you expect to hear from Pope Francis when he addresses Congress next week?
That's a good question. I am looking forward to it. I think this is, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and it's going to be a real need addressed. But it's hard to tell what the Pope's going to do. He's going to obviously, tell us some of his views and the Church's views on some of the issues that are facing those of us here in the United States, and what he thinks. But I think it'll be a fun event.
Do you plan to watch the GOP debate tonight?
I do. Absolutely, I do. I hope to see most all of it. I've got a couple meetings, but they shouldn't take very long, and I hope to see the entire thing.
Well, have you endorsed a candidate, and what big issues are the candidates not addressing so far?
Well, a lot of the issues are coming out, and tonight there's going to be a whole lot more foreign policy questions that are going to be added into it, and I'm taking a real hard look at all the candidates, and talking to the candidates themselves. I'll probably come out with an endorsement here before too much longer, and several of the candidates that are left, I like certain aspects of all of them, but a lot of the issues are being addressed. We're only in the second debate, so there's a lot of questions yet to be asked as well.
The Iran nuclear deal seems all but certain to go unchallenged by Congress, so what's next?
Well, obviously the House challenged it. We voted the deal down last week, and we also voted to prevent the president from lifting any sanctions. We're going to keep trying to kill this thing. It's a very, very bad deal. All it does is postpone Iran's nuclear capability for 10 years. And, we don't even know if we can trust Iran with not trying to continue to develop. So this is an interesting prospect. We're trying to talk Iran into not developing a program that they say they aren't developing, but yet we know for sure that they're doing everything they can to move in that direction. They've threatened the United States. They've threatened Israel. So this is a very bad, just a very bad thing for the United States. And so we're going to work to try to stop this at every opportunity. The president has violated the law in which he, in fact, signed when we found out about this side deal just last week. That means the president didn't disclose all of the text to Congress, and he needs to do just that. So we're looking at every avenue that we can, every opportunity.
What type of oversight do you think Congress should provide to make sure the deal is properly implemented?
Well, we should have total oversight. We are the legislative body in Congress, and for that matter too, we should have the opportunity to be able to stop something like that. It should be or have to be ratified by Congress. The burden shouldn't be to vote it down. It should have to be ratified by Congress, and there should be a vote taken in the Senate. That's the unfortunate part as well, as we're seeing votes blocked in the Senate. Obviously in the House it was overwhelmingly opposed to the deal, and so we should see it, the process work. But this president does everything he can to try to sidestep Congress. He's doing that again with this deal. This is obviously not the will of the United States or the public, and so again, we're going to try to have as much oversight as possible. We're going to try to kill it before then.
Will Congress be able to come to an agreement to keep the government funded past the October 1st deadline?
You'll have to repeat that.
Yeah, I apologize about that. Will Congress be able to come to an agreement to keep the government funded past the October 1st deadline?
Oh, I think so. We should be able to come to an agreement. There may be a little wrangling back and forth, but I don't see a reason why we won't be able to pass a continuing resolution. The House, for the most part, has passed all the appropriations bills. We're waiting on the Senate to come through. The Senate wants to do it a little bit differently. They want to do a large omnibus bill. The House, we're trying to get back to regular order, and what we mean by that is going to each agency and picking apart their expenditures and their appropriations bills and looking at them, seeing what needs to be deleted, what needs to be enhanced, and what cuts need to be made, and so we're trying to do it through regular order. But obviously the Senate is going to do it a little bit differently. But I don't see any problem moving forward. Like I said, there may be a hiccup or two, but I think we'll be able to come to an agreement on a continuing resolution.
Do you think it will be a short-term measure or something more long-term?
Oh, I think it'll be a short-term measure, probably to the end of the year. and we should be able to come up with the the appropriations proposals before then. But I don't foresee it being a long-term thing like has been seen in the past.
What role should the U.S. move to play in the crisis in Syria, given the massive influx of refugees flowing into Europe?
A lot of refugees, we've seen about somewhere in the neighborhood of 250,000 Syrian civilians have been killed. The president announced last week that 10,000 refugees are going to come to the United States. I think we need to make sure they're all vetted very carefully and checked very carefully before they come. And as long as that is done, I feel pretty confident that we'll be safe here in the United States as far as refugees go. But there's going to be a certain amount of responsibility nationwide, and obviously Europe is bearing the brunt of that. As long as the civil war goes on in Syria, there's obviously going to be refugees, but I think we need to limit it as much as possible.
Congressman Graves, thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything else you'd like to say to your constituents?
Well, this is, things like this are a great opportunity, and I enjoy doing it, and I want to thank you all for the opportunity to be able to come on and talk about some of the issues, and look forward to it the next time.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.